Hey guys, I'm Lánre,
Hey, I'm Tom.
and we're here to talk to you guys about our new single coming out June 18th called Somebody New. So Tom, like me and you have been working together since December 2020. Of course, we have the single Somebody New coming out, and we have like a whole bunch of other songs that we've been working on for like 6 months or so. So it's like, this is the first time like I'll be getting to know more about you. You'll be getting to know more about me and like kind of our story. So yeah, just share with the people what's up with Tom Marlow.
Yeah, it's been a weird one, hasn't it? It's been all online this time,
Yeah.
messaging over Instagram and Zoom calls.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think we've, worked well together, in the
Yeah.
circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot done. We have a lot of songs that I personally have never like dabbled in that genre. So it's like, it's been really cool, like exploring that. And you've just been so open to my ideas, like, and you come at me with like some ideas I'm like, I've never even explored before. So it's like, it's been really cool to kind of have that dynamic over the last few months.
Yeah, totally. I think like being able to quickly, send ideas to each other has been, helpful to get the songs moving.
Yeah, man. And it's a product of the pandemic too, like people being so separated and like we didn't even have the option of being in the same place. So it's kind of like we just had to make it work, and it turned out to be a really good process, I think.
Yeah, I think the time difference between us has helped as well. It seems to
Yeah.
have always, like I've woken up and sent you a message and then, throughout the day you've replied and then, it's just been a kind of ongoing conversation and it's been useful.
Yeah, someone's always working on something.
Exactly. Yeah,
with us, like it's either I'm writing or you're producing. It's good.
Yeah, I think it's it's been really good to get all these songs done. It's really helped.
Yeah, for sure. So Tom, let's like tell the listeners more about each other. Like there's some things that you don't know about me, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff like I haven't learned about you. So like kind of what's your backstory and like your elevator pitch of got here.
Yeah, so I started in a brass band playing the trombone.
Okay.
And then on my 13th birthday, I decided I wanted to start playing the guitar. So went to my granddad's house and he just bought this electric guitar from a secondhand shop. And, I just picked it up and that was it really. I just took it home with me and never stopped playing it,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that's how I got into music really. And since then I've just, been doing it every single day. Just really got into it really. Yeah. How about you?
Man.
How did you start?
Man, so I've been doing music for as long as I can remember. Like music, I always tell people like my journey with music found me. And then I kind of learned that like it was always a part of my life. I've been singing since I was 6. I started like in a church choir. And then in middle school, it was like, professional boys choir that like toured around the States and like a little bit in the European countries or whatever. So it was like a very like 0 to 100. Like I just like woke up one day, I was like, oh, I like singing. So my mom was like, okay, I'm going to put you in everything and make you like the best you can be, which is great because I was classically trained. Then in high school, I did musical theater. And then that's where I wrote my first demo at 15 that my cousin helped me out with. And then it's just been like on and on and on, just the next thing of getting into business marketing and then getting into social media marketing that helped me out with my music. And then it's just weird how like all the different stars align that got me to where I am today.
Totally.
I'm sure you can say the same, like with, was it your dad that got you your first guitar?
A granddad. Yeah.
Your granddad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like those little things that like get you to like that inspire you,
Yeah. I mean, like in high school, I played in a few bands and that, evolved into a band that started playing around the country. And, I started writing songs for that band and we went to some really good studios around the UK. And, it just, like I say, it just kind of evolved into what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything just aligned.
It's really cool to like look back on that. I just did an interview like a couple of days ago and the interviewer was asking me, so she was like, just how did you like get here? And I was like, that's such a like big question, like so many different things I didn't even know got me here, like things I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, like now I'm a producer working mainly with kind of electronic sounds, I guess you'd say. But I started from a very kind of rock background, I guess you'd say, listening to AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, bands like that. And it's, you know, completely changed. I still love those bands, but I, you know, when it comes to making music, naturally, this kind of music just comes, you know.
Yeah, it's like you found your own lane, you know, like you found your own like corner of it. And that's something I think about a lot, especially like with the music I'm working on now, with you and like some other producers. Like it's very different than the music that I listen to personally, but it's like it still feels very much like me, if that makes sense. It still feels like an extension of all the inspiration that I've had from like, you know, R&B, soul music, but it's like it's how I do it, you know? So
yeah. And coming from like, for me, playing the guitar, the music that I make is, I guess you'd say, is quite electronic kind of, you know, not that many, not many acoustic instruments, but playing the guitar, I've got that background that I try and incorporate the kind of realness, you know, live feel in my music.
Right.
It's a strange one. I've been used to playing in bands and having the, you know, that kind of rawness, but now the music I make is very polished. But I think it's just part of the journey. Your tastes change, and I think that's what I love about music. You just it's always evolving, and as long as you know, keep your mind open to new ideas, I think it's just an ongoing journey that, you know, that's what I find fun.
Yeah, no, me too, man. I think it's just music is best when it's not in a box, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something that I had to learn years ago and kind of had to relearn from my last project. I was like, man, a lot of people, it was received really well by a lot of people. So my first instinct was, okay, just lean into it more. But the thing is, like, as a creative, it was really important for me to say, okay, that's great that worked. And I love that. And I can always go back to that. But let's expand, you know, let's see what else we can do, because I don't like to be put in a box, like, personally. And I don't think it will reflect well, like, on my music to be put in a box. So just like you said, man, it's just really important to have that, like, openness and to see music just flows naturally anyway, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think, whatever comes naturally is, you know, always going to be the best. You know, you have to love the music that you're making. Otherwise, like, what's the point in doing it? That's the way I see it. I absolutely love the track, and I've, you know, really enjoyed working on it with you. I think,
for sure, man,
like we were saying earlier, working on, you know, music through the pandemic, it's been different, but, you know, it's also been a great learning process, you know?
For real, man. I think, like, making Somebody New in particular, like, was such a, like, case study on how music is made, you know, because, like, from the beginning of it, it was a song that you already, like, kind of recorded with a different artist. And then like, you had sent me kind of like all these reference tracks just to get like a feel of like who you were as a producer. And so I was like listening to each one, and like that one beat that it started from, like, I was like, damn, like, I already had like a whole top line in my head. I was like, I'm just going to record this. And like, I don't know if this song is released or like whatever. I just want to like get this idea out there, see what Tom thinks, just so like, again, so like you can get an idea of like my like kind of writing style or whatever.
Yeah.
And it turned out, like, you said that like it wasn't going to be released, or like the label wasn't happy with it or something like that.
Yeah, the vocal on it, it just it didn't feel quite right. And, you know, as soon as you said that you had an idea for it, I knew from that moment that we were going to make something great, you know?
Yeah. And because, dude, I felt it. I was like, man, it was like the structure of the song has always been the same, right? Like, it's always been like the timeline and like the structure of it's always been the same. So like, that's what's been like the best part of this song for me. Cause like, even throughout all the different alterations, like, it had a whole new beat at one point, and then we had our changes, and then it was mixed, and then Zach had his changes to it. And it was like all these different things that were happening. But I love that like the structure of it always stayed the same, because it was a great song, and I loved like making it into a new thing with you.
Yeah, I think the fact that, like you say, it kind of stayed the same throughout, even with all these different production changes, it just shows that the essence of the song is, solid.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. It's a really good tune, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for real. It's one of my favorite songs that I've written, and definitely like the way you had the instrumental set up, like definitely one of the best like structured songs that I've sang on. And I feel like the song is so like important for today as well, because I was like, again, I just did an interview about this, but like I was writing it and I felt like, man, there's so many people who are looking for something outside of like their normal situations, and I always like to kind of do that in the songs that I write. Like, even though they always kind of like have like the leaning towards love type things, they always kind of have a different and deeper message to it. So like for this song, it was more of just like people kind of tired of the monotony of their lives, or someone who's kind of just been in a bad spot for so long. They're just looking for someone to meet their same passion level. So I was like, damn, this is like such a good like metaphor for what the world's been going through for the last year.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's a reflection of, what everyone's going through right now, isn't it? And when I heard you, explaining what, the lyrics properly,
explaining the madness.
yeah. Like it just seems so relatable. And I really, I thought, it's great,
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it, man. This is the first song that I've written from two perspectives as well. So like the first verse is, I always think of like a male and female couple. So it's like the first verse is like the guy kind of, shy, skittish, is just kind of tired of going on dating apps, things like that. And he's just like, he's looking for someone with the same type of passion that he has. And then second verse comes in with the woman who's talking about like, she's trying to see through all like the bullshit of guys. And, she's kind of tired of like the same kind of guy coming into her life over and over again. And in my head, like these two people have known each other for a really long time. And she finally sees that the person she's been looking for is the guy from the first verse. And
I love that.
And they kind of like meet in the middle. That's kind of how I structured it in my head, at least.
Yeah. It's a really cool kind of, I love that there's a story to it and a meaning behind it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's ever a music video, just this will be the treatment for it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited to be releasing somebody new like over the summer as well, because I think is, an electric pop song. So it's going to get people excited. And then two, I think because originally like the first version of the song, I thought, oh, this is going to be perfect for like the March, April type release. It'll have like, it was very dancey, and it was like, oh, this is so perfect. It'll be like good for like clubs in the US to like start opening again. But the way it is now, like it's very light and it's very, electric, just it feels more of a summer song. So
absolutely.
It's like, and I think it just timing really worked out for it to be released now.
Yeah, especially in the UK, things are starting to open up.
Exactly.
So it's, perfect timing, really.
So I follow a lot of like UK people on Twitter. And so like literally I'm inundated with people just like, oh, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to go to pubs, like all this kinds of stuff. So I was like, damn, this is like such a opportune time for us to like be releasing because it's being released with Rhythmic Records, which is based in the UK. And then also, of course, I'm a US artist, so I'm going to be using this market as well. So it's like the perfect time for both markets to really like smash it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you say, it's just a summer banger, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, man.
And I can't wait for everyone to hear it and
yeah,
get some feedback on it,
Right. So yeah, this isn't the only version of Somebody New that's coming out. We have a remix coming with my friend Gray Matter from Colorado that I met on Instagram. We've been listening to like his different cuts of the track and kind of like his different interpretation. And like, I'm super excited because it's like, I've never done a remix of one of my songs. And because it's like working with another artist that I've been trying to work with for a while, like I was just like, hey, let me just send him Somebody New and see what he thinks. And he like almost immediately had like a really like banger idea.
Yeah, I think like coming from a producer's perspective, it's
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing what other people can do with the track I've been working on for so long, you know. And I really love what it's done so far. I can't wait to hear the final version.
I've always been like interested on your perspective of that, because I was like, I wonder what Tom thinks of like, do you think like, okay, this is, I should have done this, or is it like, wow, someone just has like a whole different perspective that I wasn't even thinking about, you know?
It's weird because one part of me is thinking, damn, that sounds so good. I wish I did that.
And it's not saying like the way it is now is bad. It's just
exactly.
Like, yeah.
And the other part is, thinking, yeah, I love that. It's just, it's just like an add-on, I love our version, but what he's done is just like so good. And it's just, it kind of like, I don't know, it just takes a track to another level and
it's a little
puts
darker.
it in a different,
yeah. And I think like, that's what I love about remixes, like the ones that I listen to, because it's like, even if I love the original track, it's like, I have a whole different like love for the remix,
Exactly.
So I think this is really effective in like giving the listeners like a whole different taste of the same like song. Essence.
Yeah. You get a different perspective on the track, don't you? It's kind of, you can fall in love with it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like a lot of people have been doing that in the industry a lot. Like, like Doja Cat's Say So.
Yeah.
Like she had like the Nicki Minaj remix. She had like 4 DJs like remix that with like one of her other songs that did really well. And it's just like she took that one song concept that I thought was awesome, and then she just like stretched it out because there was so much to like pick and choose from the song to make it like into something new.
Yeah, I think the fact that the song can be rewritten so many times and still feel inspired to do something new on it. I think it just shows that the track has got a solid foundation.
Yeah, man. I mean, and who knows like what is going to happen to it after this, like I feel like once the world like really gets to know the track, like I would love to get like more people, like a new singer on it, or like something, something new.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've even done, well, by the time this comes out, you should have seen it, the acoustic cover.
Yes. Yeah. And that was really cool to do.
Yeah. Again, it's just brought another perspective on the track, hasn't it? And it kind of, it's more vulnerable, you can really kind of grab onto the story of the lyrics.
Dude, it was crazy because like when I was singing it like right here, and I was like, I was emoting more of the lyrics. Like I understood the song more singing it, just like listening to like your guitar versus like the actual track. And I was like, this is actually like a whole love song that we just made,
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt when I was, coming up with that kind of picky guitar part. It just, it like you say, it just felt a bit more like a love song.
Yeah, for sure. And I can't wait to like see people's reception on that, like that whole different spin.
Yeah, so we finished Somebody New. And like I said earlier, we've been working on some other tracks, and I can't wait to carry on with them, really.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like we're working on such like a wide repertoire of songs. Like we have very pop songs, like Somebody New. We have like kind of like almost like jazzy songs. Like there's this one song, and I won't mention the name here, but like that we worked on that I've never written or sang on a song like that, and I was so excited to finally like get the opportunity to, because it's like this housey like dance track, like almost like a 90s kind of inspired thing. And like I remember that like when I was singing the top line, I was like, man, this is a whole new lane that I've never got to explore. So I'm so excited to like keep this relationship going with you and Rhythmic, and just having like all these ideas, and we have a lot coming, a lot in the arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few pretty much done, haven't we? We just need to get them finished.
Yeah, get them to the finish line for sure. And I think for you, man, like, are you excited to be releasing after a long hiatus?
Mate, I'm so excited. Like, today, like the sun has been shining. I've just been, feeling the vibes.
Yeah,
I'm excited to get going again. Yeah, man. Yeah,
that's dope, man.
How about you? you know, this is your first release in a while, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first release of 2021, first since my first debut EP. And I didn't know how bad like releasing withdrawals were.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I just need like to release more music. And I think that's like a mistake that a lot of indie artists make, that you go into that like impulse of like, okay, I just released this, it did really well, let me give them even more, when, you know, like you got to let music breathe, you know, because there's songs that I released in last November that just crossed 100,000 streams like a couple months ago, you know? So it's like, yeah, thanks, man. And it's just like, you got to let people like find you and let the music breathe a little bit, so that when you do hit them with a song like Somebody New, it's just like, oh my gosh, like you have so many people like responding to it.
Yeah. And I'm so excited to see what your fans think of it as well, because it's a bit of a diversion, isn't it, to your other stuff?
It is. And, you know, at first I was nervous about it, to be honest. I was like, okay, this is a lot different than what people are used to. But then I thought about what I just said, like, I'm going to be new to like millions and millions of people. So it's not going to, you know, even though I love like the people that have been supporting me so far, like they're just one section of that, you know, and I think we did such a great job on it. They're going to love it. So.
Yeah. And they love you. So they're just going to follow you to your next stage in your journey, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we have Somebody New coming out. I hope everybody loves it. Hope you guys have a great summer with it. This is the beginning of so much more between you and me. For people who have been following me, there's going to be so much more music that I'm releasing this summer. I'm sure, Tom, like you have some projects that you're working on as well.
Yeah. I've been busy. So yeah, stay tuned.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot coming, guys. So we're excited to share it. All right, guys. So we really hope you enjoy Somebody New. Definitely let us know what you think. You can follow me at Lnre.official for like more updates with me and my releases, and of course, updates with the song.
Yeah, you can follow me at I am Tom Marlow on Instagram. It's been great speaking to you, mate. And
you too, man.
Catch up with you soon.
All right. You guys have a good one.
I'm looking for somebody new.